Alright, there we go. It took us long enough. But we are here. Alright. Shit, just jacked up the camera in the back. First I gotta get out of this grass and go back there and fix that. Didn't realize the yellow tech was gonna get blown into the dock. Alright, let's go fix the camera. Alright, we've had all kinds of fiascos. Jeremy, let me know if you can hear me okay. We've had all kinds of fun this morning, but I'm having to run off the back of the boat today because my battery pack, for whatever reason that I run up here next to me, didn't want to give a charge. And of course I had my backup battery, but I didn't have a cable to run with it. So you guys are just going to get the back of the boat view today. But let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I'm on a pool on the Menominee River because it's deeper. Since I'm in a boat, I can't be getting in the skinny water, obviously, in the boat. While the kayak guys are in the super skinny water. Loud and clear. All right, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a little bit. I talked to a local, kind of warned me about the stumps and the things. But we should be in a decent spot to catch good smallies here. This Menominee River that runs from the top of the state, from Michigan, down through Wisconsin. I think it's Michigan. Whatever state's north of Michigan or Wisconsin. But this river runs all the way out to Green Bay. So we're in one of the pools about 30 miles away, or 40, I don't know where it is. We're up, so there's a bunch of different levels of dams. And so it's safest for me to fish in an area that's got dams. So I'm kind of in between dams. So tomorrow we'll probably fish one of the reservoirs that's also got good smallies in it. But there's supposed to be a decent amount of good smallmouth in this area as well. So, how do I like that seat? Just bought one. Oh, I've been a fan of these Millennium seats like forever. I bought mine. I didn't even fish out of the stock seats when I bought this boat back during COVID. I went straight to this. I've had these seats in kayaks. I've had them in deer stands. I absolutely love it. I've got a bad back from Army days. And for me, it fits perfectly. I like that it's breathable, so you don't sit there and soak in butt sweat. I don't even need I've got kayak cushions, but I don't even need it for the seat because it just suits me really well. Absolutely love the Millennium seats. I saw Bill Dance fishing out of these, and I was like, you know what? It's good enough for Bill. I'm going to try it out, and I've absolutely loved them ever since. So anyway, we're gonna fish the area around this dam. Mostly because the guy the local that fishes here, he said there's lots of bald eagles, lots of freedom birds, and I can hear them over, I think, on the other side over there. So I'm just going to work across and maybe up this bank a little bit, and then we're going to head north very carefully. I see a bunch of smoke coming from the shoreline, and I thought I heard a motor. Not sure. That could be somebody starting an old boat, or maybe there's a house up there and a bunch of smoke come across. But I'll keep my eye up that way, or my ears peeled in case. There's two more boats still on the water. One looked like a bass boat, maybe a champion trailer, and then another smaller like John boat trailer. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye up that way. He could have just been an old two-stroke starting his motor, and that was the cloud of smoke going across. I don't know, but it was just a big puff of smoke. So, I'll keep an eye out. Anywho, we're gonna start with this dam. I'm gonna. Where's my chatterbait? Because I'm a chatterbaiting dude. We're gonna try a few different baits across. We're gonna see using the scope, see if we see anything. But yeah, I'm not fishing any tournament. I'm just up here fishing for fun, and then I'll be working as okay. I'll be working the kayak adventure series later. But all right, we got a little bit of wind going here. Get my motor on like 3, and screw it. Let's go try to catch some giant smallies. I figure I'm gonna work along this riprap fast. This motor is so powerful, it's not even funny. But that's why I was able to get a 100 amp 24 volt, because I knew this thing would have plenty of juice for pulling my aluminum boat versus a full-size bass boat. So we're just gonna scooch along and take you guys and see if we can't catch some smallies. If I catch any big ones, I'll walk back there and show them to y'all. So I got the wind blowing across the dam this way. I'm in like 7 feet of water. Since I don't have a camera up here in front, tomorrow I will. I'll get some cables swapped out and make sure I have battery power. I like to run my back camera for like recording videos so I can edit them later, and then running the camera up here when I'm live, just to kind of like bring you guys into the action, if that makes sense. But I'm actually going to spot walk here for a second. We're going to really take a look at this water. But I don't need to be in any hurry. But I'm in like 5 feet here. And so I'm just really going to work this really well. And if I see any dots down there on the bottom that are any kind of fish, because I can't tell the difference, you know, just looking at them, you know, we will drop the baits and see whatever it takes to get them to bite. But I'm going to be keeping my eye out for eagles. And that may be a juvenile eagle there. No white, but still brown on the head and tails. But it's like all the rods and reels and combos and my thought behind everything I brought. But that ain't gonna be right now. Today we're fishing. I'll sit down and do a proper YouTube video for the channel later. But for now, we're live, Gramps live from Wisconsin. The what the hell's the name of this river? Mini something. All right, I need it back. There we go. Got a nice grass line here. I'll try to call out as much as I can since you guys are so far back. But you know, hey, you'll be able to see everything from back there. That's for sure. I'll make sure I'm good to go tomorrow. I'm not sure why my Nocqua didn't want to work. I might have a bad USB conversion connection thingy. But I'll see if Drew or Jake has one with them when I see them later on. I know I need to get up to the other dam because flow is what I need to be in. This much I do know, but hey, figure we just start here and see what we see, and you never know. Anywhere there's water, always a chance for fish. See, we got Scoop in the house, Scott in the house. Wide angle, yep. My power source for the front didn't want to fire off. I might have an adapter that went bad. So I'll try to. Hopefully Jake or Drew might have one of those, or I'll have to dig one of the cables that I didn't bring with me and my little Dakota. Funny thing is, I've got a USB port up here. I just don't have a cable long enough. USB cable. Hey. That's the old school. Let's see, checking out this cheater box, see if there's anybody out here deep. I'm gonna drop a drop shot on the ass. Take what I learned from Dylan, drop it on them. Don't really see anything, so we're gonna go across. I see rocks. We got grass. This is very clear water. We got grass. We got stumps, and let me get my sunglasses on. Maybe some rocks in here as well. Oh, I thought my tail was gone. Let's go ahead and pick it up. Scoop says he likes it. Yeah, you guys will definitely be able to see all the good stuff. Normally, if what had happened, then I would just put a chesty on, and then I would do my standard filming from there. But somehow my chesty got wet, and so it's got a little mold on it, and I don't want to sit here with a moldy freaking thing on. We could maybe the lives wide angle and put my chesty on for the actual video that'll come out of this trip. Come over here and see what the bank looks like. That's a big old island. All right. The guy did basically say since I'm new to the lake and don't know it, to stay, more or less idle because there's a lot of stumps in here. Don't want to tear up a lower unit. And I appreciate that info. Yeah, today we're hitting this river, which looks like a reservoir. And then tomorrow there's actually a reservoir we're going to hit. Now we're coming back into some skinnier water with a grass edge. Very nice, very nice. We'll work the shade line and grass edge and see if we can't find any smallies. Running through here, 18 feet of water. Oh, look at that beautiful grass. Now we're cooking. I'm just waiting for the kadonk. Oh yeah, we're just working this grass line. Look at this. This is Gramps type of fishing right here. Do need to get my sunglasses on though. Grass edge. Oh yeah. Yeah, I need to get my sunglasses on to cut the glare. Just helps casting. Let me cast it right on the edge of the grass. Oh, there was a little tap tap tap. Somebody took a little nibble nibble. Of course, you got to be mindful of the toothy critters out here as well. So I need to let that fall just a little bit because we're in 5 feet of water. Get the scope dropped out some. There we go. water in ahead of us as well. All right, we said sunglasses. Let's get our sunglasses on. See who all's in the chat. I see Josh in the house. Just getting started, bro. Got you guys on the wide angle today. Bringing you all the action. So today we're on the Menominee River. We're between dams, so it's safest for me because it's like being on a lake, if you will, with deeper water. But I got to be mindful of lots of stumps. I got warned by a local. We put in at one dam. We're gonna work our way up to the next dam up because we definitely want to be fishing in current, which is where those smallies like to hang out. But yeah, I figure we're gonna work this grass line on the way up, just for a little bit, and then we'll motor and idle up. I've only got one graph with me, so I'm gonna take the one off the front and put it on the back while I idle. Okay, we got rocks along this bank too. That is what I really wanted to say. Now I can be skipping some bait up in the juice. And we still got good grass. Oh yeah. I'm gonna skip that urchin up in that stuff too. Boy, that water's clear. A little closer to the bank. Well, I guess I can't get too close to the bank because I gotta make sure it's visible to the sky. Slow down here and float a bit too. I'm not used to. I don't like casting to the right side when I'm in the boat. I always like casting to my left, so normally I'll have the bank on my left side. So it's going to take me a minute to kind of get my bearings, make sure I don't whack the boat. But man, I'm seeing all kinds of rocks on the bank. I need to get my jig. Of course, this is the brand new Hyper Mag, so I'm going to have to kind of get it dialed in for skipping as well. There was a bluegill chase that bait all the way out. All right, let me cast out this little loop I just gave myself because I was not paying attention. And skipping, well, not dialed in, but we're going to get this dialed in so I can skip it as well. Means I gotta get the 11 magnets dialed in. Of course, you know, it's always a fun part of getting a new reel and getting it the way you want it. All right, let's turn the magnets up. And then, because I ain't really going for distance right now, I'm going to whack the back of my boat. I'm going to have to grab a spinning rod just to make it easy. As much as I want to catch them, these bluegills are chasing my bluegill colored chatterbait out from the bank. All right. I've got, I wonder if I can skip this big old Shrinko bait. Here's a big old dog. If they come hit this, it's going to be a big one. So the munchie is like a super fluke, but much heavier duty and built for big bass. Yep, I gotta skip that. I can't be throwing it up into the trees, or it's gonna be a long day. Come on out there. It's nose hook, so I gotta be mindful of that. All right, I just tossed it up into another branch. So we gotta go get this one. I gotta skip it. It's not gonna do what I want to do if I'm not skipping it. So I can't like be high sticking this thing. I gotta keep it on the surface. But it lets me also. Oh, okay. This bank is gorgeous. This is absolutely. There's rock chunking. Oh man, no wonder. This is gonna be a spot. All right, let's see if we can turn the trolling motor. Get my bait. Man, that rock. I wish I could. You guys seeing? I'm looking down in the water, but it's clear and it's beautiful round rock. I mean, this is gonna be. I need to get my little tube because this is like a crawl type scenario. All right, give me back my. Pull the boat into here. See, this is the shit you guys don't see in the YouTube videos, because you know when we edit, we know what we're doing. We never make mistakes. You never end up in the trees and casting and losing baits and all that. When you're live, you're seeing the real deal in action as it happens. All the stupidity, all the do it just like everybody. There without running that back camera into the. I just put this rod out of. No luck yet, Shane. We just got started like 5 minutes ago, so we're just kind of scoping out, seeing what's here, and kind of figuring out what's here and what we can do. Where is my? I'm gonna grab my jig. Pull these up here where I can get to them. There's our plopper. Big old stuff. Little finesse jig for a bit on this. Come up and seeing we can find up there, but I'm kind of just exploring around and seeing what's here. Be pitching and not casting this damn thing. We're gonna see some bald eagles and such. So yeah, started for the day. Need to be coming the bank down this way so I don't fish off the right side of the boat. That's just me. Yeah, this is backwards for me. I got to stand up and pitch, which I don't want to do because I'm trying not to wear out my knees. But I mean, it's what we're going to have to do. But this the skinny water here is round rock. It's clear water. It looks absolutely phenomenal. But I need to go up to the dam because flow is what you want when you're chasing smallies. But we'll figure it out. I hear eagles everywhere. Oh yeah, well it's me near trees because I gotta hug the bank and Starlink, and there's zero cell signal. I debated on because I knew I was gonna have to be fishing near the shore because this is a river, Whereas tomorrow I'm going to go to a reservoir and I'll be wide open. So if we can't keep consistent signal because I'm hugging the trees, I'll just shut it down and then try again tomorrow. I figured it would be like that, but I was hoping we would be, far enough away from the bank where it wouldn't. But maybe when I get more of an open spot, then that'll work for us. See where the actual dam is. Alright, so the dam is that way. See, there's one island, then the shoreline over there. So we may just go ahead. We may just go ahead and idle up that way. And then see what we get. But that being said, I need to take the graph off. Just run out far enough so I can get on the motor. Graph, and I got to use it in both places. My other one's supposed to arrive this week so that I can have one here at the console and one up there, but we're just gonna make do with what we got and not flash cheeks at y'all. Bringing the mic back with me for now. That way we can BS somewhere as we're idling up. We'll get this up. So I can't see you guys, but I can talk to you as we're motoring. There we go. All right, I need to go. Looks like the deeper water's out this way. probably should have waited to go live until I got up there, because this is probably going to take me a little while. Now, I wish I could see another boat come running through here on full plane, then I know I can get up, but I don't know where the logs are. Now the bottom looks clear, so we're gonna YOLO. Looks like we're gonna come up to shallower water, but Still moving faster than I would be in the kayak. I see stumps and I see a boat. And the boat is where I want to be, so yeah, we'll figure it out. You know what, we're just going to go to this other side and fish our way up. Looks like it's shallower over here. So we'll just ease our way on over. But where I was told to fish is in the flow of the dam. That don't mean they won't be all over anyway too, so we'll just work this shade line since the sun's at our back. Water's absolutely beautiful though. Alright, I'm gonna get my tube out and my juvie crawl. I just realized I forgot to grab a fork or a spoon to use for my lunch later. Yep, I know I need to turn around and grab that graph, but get you in the water and then you'll be complaining like, where is the graph? Nuzzle this baby carefully. I'll be glad when my other one gets here so I don't have to play this risk. Oh, that rock. Oh, yeah. Yes, I know, trolling motor, you just detected something. Alright, is everybody still here? No bites yet. We're just getting started. We fished around the dam that near where we put into, but I was told to fish the flow of this dam here. So we kind of went up one bank for a little couple minutes to kind of make sure everything's kind of dialed in, and we're just now starting to fish. So realistically, if I had to do again, I would have waited until I got up here before I started the live. But I just wanted to make sure everything was working beforehand. All right, what do we got here? We got a plopper. And what I want is the chatter bait. There we go. All right, now we're actually going to start fishing. Now we're officially fishing. So I got, that's that boat I saw in the parking lot, the Champion. And then there was a smaller John boat. So we'll get up here and we'll work the current, the bridge below this dam, because that's what I was told to do. And tomorrow we're going to go to a reservoir. All right, let me see who all we got in here. We got Shane in the house, Skeptic. Where am I fishing today? I am on the Menominee River up here in Wisconsin. This is the second time ever I've been to Wisconsin. And the first time I came up here 2 years ago with the Kayak Adventure Series was literally the greatest day of smallmouth fishing I've ever had in my life. So when the boys invited me to come up and help with the event, there was no way I was saying no. This is the first vacation I've taken. So stoked. So yeah, we got a good chance. I need some shade. I need some rocks, but I need to get up here and get in this current, which is where that dude is doing. There goes a mink. I was going to say up there. Probably you guys can't see him at the distance you are, but yeah, that was pretty cool. This is all very shallow. Who knows? He might be walleye fishing. I don't know. Up here in some of this deeper water and see what we can see. Tomorrow I'm going to hit a reservoir that's supposed to have good smallies in it. I don't know. Today is day one. I need to turn that brake back a bit since I'm not trying to skip this bait. We need some casting distance. I'm hoping this opens up when I get around this corner and we get like a shade pocket over on that side. I should be throwing a plopper through here too, but we're gonna just mix it up and see what they want. Nice bluegrass morning. Hell yeah. We're on Eagle Watch too. Local, I was talking to a whole bunch of bald eagles in this area, and I was like, oh hell yes, freedom birds, let freedom ring. All right, I see Chunk Rock Bank, and that means I am going to grab this little juvie craw tube. I love the juvie craw. It's kind of a cross between a Ned and a tube, and we all know those are smallie type things. Let me test my skipping abilities. We're going to try to ease into these rocks and skip this right up on the bank. So talking to the guys in the house that I'm with, you can't ask for a better bunch of dudes. Guillermo Gonzalez, who just won the Bassmaster event an hour down from here. Christine Fisher, I ain't got to tell you all about her. Her fiance, G's fiance, she'll be up today. She flies in. He's going to go pick her up later. Then I'm also up here with Russ Snyder's, multiple champion of all the things kayak fishing, and Jordan Westerman, who wins all the things all the time as well. So I am in a house full of hammers. And then, of course, I'm being advised from another cabin by Josh Renko, Mr. Achievement brand man himself. All right, this juvie crawl is not made for skipping, so I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to put it in where I want it. It's pulling the jig head away from the thing, which makes sense. If I want to skip something, I'll tie a Senko on. I should actually tie a fluke on and skip it too. Oh, I do have an urchin. I said I wasn't going to skip it and just skipped it right up in those rocks. I need to make sure that stayed on the jig head. Yeah, it did. I do have a prickly pear tied on too, a big one. And I could actually skip that in there as well. Yeah, just let that sit too long in the rocks. This trolling motor is so strong and so quiet. I've got it on. I need to put it back down on one. I had it on two. Oh, I got a caught in a branch. That's what it was, not a rock. There we go. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. Try to catch a fish for y'all. Keep you entertained. Let's try to let's get that prickly pear going. See if we can tease up a big one. Big old bait, big old bass, right? I can skip the hell out of that, so that'll work just nice in there. Oh, I guess I need to get this log off of my trolling motor. All right, let's get back to fishing. Quit goofing around. I was going to put the Yamamoto Uni on here, but I was like, why not try the bigger one first? Yeah, pike, and he has got my stuff, but we're gonna get the net because he's bigger than the last pike I caught. Not by much. Come here. There we go. First fish of the trip is a pike. Let's see. I grab behind his gills and squeeze, and that freezes him. He ate that whole damn urchin. And I mean, he swallowed this thing. Let you guys see. Oh, dude, come on, don't do this. Let me get this out of you. I almost need two sets of pliers, one way to hold him. Quit swallowing it, dude. I'm trying to get it out of you. He keeps trying to re-eat it. Bro, quit eating it. Oh, I need to spot lock when I'm paying attention what I'm doing. There you go, guys. But that hook is a lot. It's more finessey. It's too finessey for these big dogs. All right, first fish of the trip is a pike. He ate the hag's prickly pear. Big bastard. All right, first fish of the trip. Man, he bent that hook up good. I can't believe how strong he was. See if I can straighten this out a bit so I can reuse it or keep using it. Huh, there we go. So that was a pretty good fight for the Ned rig rod. Let me know if y'all are there, that you're still there. Yeah, there's our first of the trip, pike. Go ahead and retie up the line from where he chewed it up. It was freaking cool. Hails to the yeah. Here you go, boys. We got you some action already. Surprised he didn't chew that and run off with it. I got fish up here busting around near my motor. All right, so we caught one on the prickly pear. Now let's, oh, you know what? I've never caught a fish on one of these big swim baits. So I got this 9-inch coal shad. Let's have some fun. We'll see how many different ways we can catch them today. If I can get this. Oh, it's... Oh, wrong way. But this way. Alright. Never caught one on a coal shad before, so hey. Let's see if we can do some of that. Alright, trolling motor, let's go. There we go. Oh, that looks good in the water. All right, let me get my, screen adjusted here a little bit so I can see you guys a little better. Got it tilted back too far, too much sun hitting it. Now I can read the text. There we go. All right. There we go. Starting out with a pike. Let's go. We're going to get up here in Smallie land. Just my luck, I'll catch a giant pike and be like, no, I don't know how to get my bait back. My net ain't big enough. I was big ass net. A little bit of grass. But yeah, I got this because I've seen Christine throwing these in her videos. And of course I throw it right into a branch. I'm going to pay attention because if they run on plane all the way back, then I know it's okay. Yeah, he's running all down that bank, so far so good. Yeah, they look like they're good, so. Yeah, I know. Knew I got too close to the rocks. That's it. Of course, his waves are driving me right back into it. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and up a little so we can get up to where they were. You know what though? I'm gonna grab a plopper. Yeah, see if we can't call one up. I'm gonna have to dial this rod in. This is my jerkbait rod, and I haven't thrown it in forever. Forgot how short the handle was on it. You guys drop me G's in the chat if you're still watching. That way I know we're still connected, if you would. I need to do a screen refresh because I don't know. No, don't minimize the freaking... Make sure we're still live. Come on, YouTube, what are you doing? One's in the chat. There we go, okay. Live chat. All right, here we go. Turn the magnets up a skosh just because it's a heavier bait than a jerk bait. I'm going to get up here and spot lock and then come back and hit that with that crawl or a jig real good. That rock and the tree and all that. There's just too much goodies there to not throw the things at it. There you are. Come here, little buddy. I said I was going to spot lock, but I didn't spot lock far enough out. Looks like a beaver dam too. Yeah, I gotta not let that sit on the damn bottom. Gotta keep it moving. I might have to go to like something super light that won't get hung up. A super lightweight Ned. One that actually, the Z-Man that floats too. Gotta keep it above the stuff on the bottom. Because if not, I'm gonna have a long day trying to fight these out of the rocks. That little tube's just gonna fall down in there. But that's the good thing about that prickly pear too. Yep, I broke that one off. That's my sign. If I say it, do it. So time to put on a little bitty Little lightweight Ned and a Z-Man TRD to keep it kind of from falling down into the rocks. Yeah, super lightweight. Go with this Berkeley Little Trooper. I am on the Menominee River up in Wisconsin. I'm going to be here all week working with the Kayak Adventure Series. That tournament runs on Thursday and Friday. So between now and then, I'm fishing as much as possible. I normally fish kayak tournaments, but I had open heart surgery last year, right before my heart attack. I also gave myself multiple hernias cleaning up after a tornado. And so I can't kayak fish until after I get the hernia surgeries this winter. But I couldn't get the surgery because I was on blood thinners after my open heart. So, long story short, I'm up here working. But because I'm partnered with Kayak Adventure Series, but they invited me to come up and help out, and I brought my boat up, and then we'll spend the week fishing in the boat, and then we'll work the kayak tournament this weekend. But yeah, I'm up here chasing big smallies, just kind of getting started. Today's my first day on the water up here, but this is a section of river that's supposed to be pretty decent for giant smallmouth. And then I've identified a couple of reservoirs that are nearby that I'll be jumping back and forth between the river and some smaller reservoirs during the week. Just gonna kind of pancake around, and the whole goal is for me to catch my first 20-inch smallmouth bass. Oh, I guess I did have spot lock on. Wasn't paying attention. I'll put it back on. Nope. That is not the right button. There's the right button. But, yep, first fish of the day was a pike. About 2 foot long. Wasn't a giant. Probably the biggest one I've ever caught. And I don't fish for pike, but I ain't gonna cry when I catch something different. Yeah, we are targeting large smallmouth, so I'm trying to downsize a little. Dealing with these rocks. Probably will adapt and put a fluke on too, but we caught one on the prickly pear already. So now we're just trying to see how many different ways we can catch them. I'm up here all tangled up and being stupid. There we go. Yeah, I haven't got to fish a whole lot this year. I just started getting back out on the water with my wife's permission in the boat, being super careful. So that's what we're doing. I spent the last month upgrading my boat because I bought this boat back during COVID, more as a preparing for a retirement kind of thing, to have like a boat for crappie and bluegill for taking my kids and grandkids out. But since I'm fishing out of it this year, I went ahead and upgraded the trolling motor and graphs and the whole nine, making it into like a bass boat because that's what I fish for the most. But you know, I was going to do a bunch of this anyway when I retired, for taking the family out crappie fishing, and we just sped up that timeline, so to speak. So it's gonna be our bass boat this year till we get back in the kayaks next year, or maybe next year. We'll have to see how my recovery from the surgeries go. But yeah, enough of the sad song. We're up in Wisconsin for the second time in my life. I've always chased largemouth my whole life. That's just always been my big thing. But I got into smallie fishing a couple years ago, and even catching small smallies. There's a bald eagle. Yep, there they are right there. I knew that sound. Let me get the boat turned around so you guys can see this. We got a mature one who's got a white head and white tail, and then that one over there is younger. He's still a juvenile, so he's all brown, but he's probably less than 3 years old. But they're out here playing around fishing, and so that tells me I need to get over there because that's probably where the bass are. But there you go, guys. Freedom bird hitting the water, and that's where those guys were fishing, so that's probably where I need to be. Oh, we got real shallow over here. Okay, that is not good. Didn't realize it was going to do this, so I need to go back the way I came and then go back up over there where the water's definitely deeper. Let me turn the motor up. Get it. Yeah, the deeper water's over there, so that's where we need to be. Okay, so that's like a shallow flat right there. So I'm gonna chug back up over here and go over there where we saw those guys fishing. The more you know. But hey, freedom birds on the screen. Yeah, my wife loves loons, and I am all about the bald eagles. That one is starting to get its feather. It's starting to get the white in its tail feathers. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of chunk rock here, so that's a good sign. It's probably over there taking all the fish we're trying to catch. But yeah, he is just, this one over here in front of me is just starting to get the white, and then that one is full mature. He is pure white head, pure tail. Yep. I love that sound. I need to make that the alarm on my alarm or my phone. Yeah, we're gonna catch some fish up here, guys. Bridge, shallow water. If I don't beat the shit out of my motor first. Definitely get back over here in the deep. Deeper anyway. Alright, let's see what it looks like now. There we go. Yeah, I can actually see the flow over here, so definitely where we want to be. Yep, now we're in 3 or 4 foot. Let's Let's grab this big, let's see, I got a drop shot for deep water by the bridge. Yeah, we're gonna grab this munchie. There's a fish, one of them whacked. That's probably a 2-pound smallie that they chewed on. Oh yeah, 7 foot of water. All right, so I see a current seam where the water's running and then everything's kind of flowing this way too. I'm just gonna throw that big munchie over those rocks up in the shallow. See if I can see where the ledge is. Now this is nice because I can use the scope and see where it starts running up. Where I know it's shallow. Alright, 3 foot. Let's cast over there and then we're gonna slow back down. Let me clear that alarm. There we go. Oh yeah, I got shallow real quick. I need to get off of that. That's what I'm. Yep, knew it. Got too close. But this is what we want. We want to be in the deeper water, casting up into this with all these rocks and stuff around. So we're just gonna pop that big munchie over all that. Catch us some fish. Find out where it goes from deep to shallow, and then work the shallow, because then bass will come up shallower to eat. Now this is actually a medium heavy spinning rod, since I'm throwing away bigger bait. Trying to get these bigs to eat. But because I'm throwing this heavy munchie, that's why I'm using a medium heavy. So heavy duty rod for fighting heavy duty baits. We'll just we'll keep casting different stuff and figure out what they want. Got a drop shot tied on. Make sure you guys are still there. No chat activity, so I don't know if the chat's still connected or 1 or a 0 or something every now and then. Just keep the chat active. That way I know I'm still connected. It's the only way I can tell that that it's still connected. I should be out in the open enough that the Starlink will do its thing, but sometimes I just don't know unless I see you guys are in there. All right, let's cover some water with the old chatter nuggets. There we go. Yeah. I always say type G for Gramps, you know. It's like an interactive game, you know. But anything's good as long as it keeps the chat activity up, and then I know it's, you know, you guys are there. Where's everybody watching from today? Let me know. I never can tell, you know, there's a lot of names I know, but I don't know, you know, who all's a subscriber. But there's probably like 50 that I communicate with, you know, in chats or in the comments, things like that. Shane's in Louisville. Definitely want to get up here around this bridge too, because I am a bridge troll when it comes to smallie fishing. I'm just trying to work that like skinny water too while we're there. Got this new loose hyper mag I'm putting through its paces. Trying to, you know, they always show their videos where it's like, oh, I can cast this a country mile and it doesn't backlash. Boo! They all when you're into the wind. All right, let's take a glance around with the scope and see if we see anything. But I really want to get up here by this bridge and around the corner. If that's skinny enough we can get to. I see a fishing pier over there. It's cool. My crankbait rod, which I also use for my which I also use as my Minimax rod. Skeptical says he's new from Lake Hartwell area. Isn't that down where my buddy Fluke Master fishes? I think Gene lives and fishes down that way in Georgia. A lot of good looking bank over there too. Rocks, I see all the chunk rocks. Met Gene for the first time like 5 years ago, the KBF National Championship. We were talking. We were both in the Army at the same place at the same time when we both got out. Then at Fort Sam Houston in Texas. And I think my wife got out like 6 months later. He was an X-ray technician. My wife was a medic. I was a computer dude. That was a whole different job than when I was in a line unit in Germany guarding the German border. A little more cushy job, if you will. But that's the one that led me to the job and the life I live today. Technology has always been my thing. Wilmar, Minnesota. I think she was born in a hospital in Austin, I believe. I've been to Blooming Prairie one time. I made it a point to drive through there to visit her hometown because I never made it up there before her mother passed. But we stopped in Blooming Prairie when I flew up to Alaska to pick up and drive my son back down from Fort Richardson, Alaska, when he was going down to which fort was he going to? Not Bragg. Fort Benning, that's where he was going. So we stopped through Minnesota to visit his grandma's hometown on our way north. And all these rocks up here, they screaming smallie to me. We might end up going down this and then turning around and facing back up this way. Okay, I see the water flow that I was told about. And if they're going to be up here, that might be where they're sitting. While I have that and a fluke are getting ready to go to work. And or a drop shot. But when my boy tells me to throw a fluke, I be throwing a fluke. I just got to make sure it's deep up here for us not to get stuck. We'll pull up the map and see what it says, but it should be pretty deep. And it looks like in drop shot mode. Oh, I'm gonna have to motor into that quick so I don't lose the signal or it reconnects real fast. All right, hang on, gang. We're gonna bust through here quick and hoping to reconnects fast enough but we don't lose any signal. Make sure we didn't disconnect. Yep. Come on, reconnect. 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 Come on, do it. Let my chatterbait get down on the rocks too much. Come on, YouTube, connect. Dang it. I'm gonna have to start the live over again. Hey, there we go, we reconnected. Hopefully. I think you guys are still there. Where's the munchie? Oh, good. Disconnect, but then it looks like it popped right back up too. So this is this area. So here where the water's flowing, I think all this chunk rock. My dude said if you're going to catch a giant, this is a great chance to do it. So I'm going to throw some of these bigger baits, see if we can get their attention. And let's keep an eye on the water. Just to make sure we don't get too shallow. But I'm actually going to get up there where it's moving pretty good and then spot lock. and see if we can't find the big one. Big one. The live, the Starlink is worth the squeeze. If the quality of the stream's not very good, and there's really no point in spending the money on it each month. I'm still debating. You know how it goes. I'll give it the year and try it out. If not, then trying to do something different. Trying to, bring it to you as we're out here. But if it's not worth, go back to the school of film. All right, I see some back swirl over here on this bank. So let's go see if there's anybody hanging out in this slack water. I'm gonna move over and move up and then work all of that. These little back areas are where I was smoking them last time I was in Wisconsin. A little back swirl type stuff. That right there looks perfect, as does that right there on the wall. Big bait, big bass. Let's go. All of that looks good. I'm gonna go too much further up. I'm just gonna have to make long casts. You can tell when I get into the current, the bait comes flying back at me. Come on, big fish. I'm gonna catch you. That wall over there looks good too. Thinking the drop shot on that wall is going to be fired too. We'll see what they want. I figured somebody had been sitting in that slack water. We're going to run through a lot of this, and we're going to play bridge troll too. 'Cause I know there's going to be smallies around that bridge. Yeah. Let's open the bail. Or open the bail and keep it open. That wait's a lot longer than banging on the rocks. Yeah, I might have a top water. I've got a whopper flopper tied on. I don't have a whole lot of baits because I basically sold everything over the winter. And I'm having to restock because I didn't think I was going to be fishing this year. And I figured I would just restock in 2027 with all new stuff. So I don't have a big inventory of bait. I'm not a big walking bait guy either. I figured somebody would be in this little backwash, but we'll go hit the ones over there as well. I know what I do need to do is get my heavier jackhammer out because I got a white one tied on as well. A jig minnow that if we get something a little deeper, maybe we do a little shaking a minnow DC style. If I start seeing them on scope, that may be the thing to do. Don't really catch them that way because I haven't spent any time doing it, but hey. Let's run across this dam. I need to cut that tag end off. This is the new Z-Man HD. This looks like a lot of good slack water too, 5 foot. Might get up in here and have it hold us. Take a look around with the scope. When siren sounds, the water will rise. It will. Get up here in this slack water and look around with the scope. If we see anybody suspended and stuff, we might try to shake a minnow at them. Do the old Dustin Canal tricks. I might have to get that freeloader out and throw it in there. This spot looks pretty juicy. Pretty juicy. Nice fresh grass down there. Tell you what, that wind feels good. Lots of grass down there. Let me get out of this. I see a rock right there below me, and I was like, oh, nope, too shallow. But that being said, we're going to spot lock this. Come over the top of all that. See if there's anybody hanging out. Banging and clanging off all the rocky rocks. What heads am I using for minnow shaking? I've got some of the BizBait ring rollers. I like them that they have a welded ring on them, so you don't have to tie a loop knot. And BizBait actually supports a lot of the clubs and whatnot in Indiana. Big into the kayak, you know, supporting the kayak scene. I have them, I just don't use them that much because I just haven't got into that technique yet. Something I really plan on doing. I'm going to throw this chatterbait a bit and then probably bring one that thing. I feel like the back side of that wall and that slack water, somebody should be sitting. The water flow's coming from the corner of the dam and between actually it's really flowing between that second and third pillar. If there's one there, it's going to hit it right there. I dropped it right on the back side of that. Much floating stuff out here. It's a floater. Yeah, it's good. That's kind of what I was thinking too, because I kind of know what I had. I had stores full of shit that sat there and I just never used because I kind of know what I like. So when I restocked, I literally went with what I like and then added some prickly pears to it because, you know, the whole urchin thing, and the urchins have been good to me too. The last rod in the box. The men are shaking. Alright, let's see. That big is more of a chartreuse and white, so we will go with that's a kind of a gizzard shad. Got some flukes as well. I'm going to kind of get back and look at the dam, see if I see anybody down there. Yep, somebody's at the very bottom between those two pillars right there. Oh, that's cool. It's got stained glass around the window ports. If I was a fish, I'd be sitting right on the back side of that corner, that's for sure. Waiting for something to launch by. Of course, if I could get in the skinny water, I'd sit on the other side of that and mimic what's coming around. I'm going to cast up into that skinny water though. Look at this chatterbait again. Nope, this way, motor. Run around a little bit and we're going to see what the depth is, because I see boulders right there and no feet of water. Yeah, we were not in the 7 feet of water it said it was, but I see the big... Yes, I hear you. Need to order a few more spare trolling motor props just to keep with me. Out here beating them up in the rocks. Get off me, bug. Stupid bee. Hell yeah. Yeah, Brian and Chad will take care of you. They don't always give you the best deal anyway. Well, you can't tell me they wouldn't be sitting in that slack water right there. They may not like the sun being out on them. I bet this morning they were probably fired up before the sun got overhead. Rock. Come on, donks, where you at? All that slack water up there, you can't tell me you're not hiding in it. I need shade is what I'm gonna have to go do. Either later in the day or first thing in the morning. This probably would have been fire, but I'm gonna go see if we can't get somebody hanging around this bridge maybe. Yeah, I got a late start this morning because I had to go do a bunch of license stuff and other things. That's all right. We got all week. We'll figure something out. Don't know how long I'll be able to stream, but I'll go as long as the batteries run because I'll have to go redo everything else. Might have been better off with an evening sesh. Anybody hiding under that bridge? I think the Starlink is good for like 5-6 hours. The microphone that I'm using, I don't know. We get bit this way, we're going to be in trouble. Just means I come back there and land it by you guys. I think I need a little heavier weight. I'm not getting very much casting distance. The good thing about current is you aren't got to shake it, you just let the paddle tail do the work under the water. Alright, we haven't thrown at the bridge piling yet. Let's see if there's anybody home over there. See how deep it is going across. Ain't having no luck on this side, even though that's supposed to be the juice. Those guys and the birds were there, so maybe I should have listened to them. Oop. Getting in too skinny of water again. Yep. Turn around. Vacate, vacate. Run, run, run. Yep. Water don't like that. But I do need to sit over here out and cast into that shallow. Make sure we get up here where we don't lose connection. Hear all that chunking and grinding. like, no, not good, not good. But we got all that skinny water. Let's see if we can call somebody up. There's a lion bird down in there. Get up there. I'm gonna spool this whole thing out trying to get this loop out, which is fine. There it is. Cost myself some. Now that my plopper's all the way into the bridge. I do not expect anything to be out there in that skinny water in broad daylight, so we need to find some shade. Just feel like I'm here like at the wrongish time of day. Let's see. Tell you what, being a kayak up here would be perfect. Get over there in that 1 foot of water over there in that shade against the rocks. Shit. But hey, I got what I got. We'll make do. And I just don't see anything on the scope either. There was a nibbly. There was a nibble. Come on, one smallie. One big one. Part of me says I need to run this bank. That's where those guys were fishing. The birds were there. There's nothing working up here right now. And there just may not be enough flow to make a difference. What time is it? 1 o'clock. Part of me says I should pick up, recharge, and move over to that lake and fish till dark. Now that I've been here, I can get up here earlier in the morning. That might be the play. That might be the play. Of course, I want to catch at least one smallie while we're live. We got a pike. I know I got plenty of charge on the battery. On the trolling motor battery, that is. That should run me all day and then some. Alright, we're going to duck under this bridge quick again. pike chasing my chatterbait. Yeah, pike chased it all the way up to the boat and turned away at the last second. Kind of cool. It's funny, I think the wind is carrying me that way, but the wind is blowing this way. What to do? Do I pick up and go to the lake and then hit this again in the morning when it should be primo time? Or do I just stay here all day and duke it out? I know with all those rocks, I'm gonna throw my jig on that shit. Too close. Somebody was nibbling at my jig while I let it dead stick in the water. Oh, somebody did hit it. Oh, they look. There we go. Put the air on the motor. Drag that jig back a little slower. Little knot. All right, we got lots of wind. Let's get some confidence going in the plopper. See if we can't ring somebody up. Oh, there we go. Back to the live chat. I got the current going this way and the wind coming this way. It's wild. Lots of beautiful rock up there. Yep, that's not where I wanted it to go. I thought something was falling, but it was a piece of grass. All right, prickly pear, skipping time. Where'd you go? See if we. This is where I normally would skip a Senko, but we're playing with the prickly pear today. See if anybody else wants some snacks. These damn sure don't skip as easy as a Senko. I mean, you can get them back into places, but... Part of me says just pick up and move and go to the reservoir and then hit this, because I feel like I'm out here just at the wrong time, middle of the day. Of course, I had enough water on that side with more shade, whereas we don't really have the shade over here. And I think we had enough shallow water over there. We'll work out here a little deeper and then maybe run that other bank. 6 feet of water out here. All right, we're gonna motor down and cross over and come back with the shade. That just makes more sense to me right now. Just makes more sense. You want to fish the shade. All right, I got way too many things clustering down there than I should. Another one's gonna blow us into the bank. Ooh, there's a creek mouth right there. That looks freaking juicy. I feel like my jig is going to be better off than this Ned and all these rocks. Jig will come through that stuff a lot better. Guarantee you, the guys that know what they're doing are probably catching the living shit out of them today. There we go. Is this the first smallie of the trip? He's fighting like one. He's a dank, but he's a smallie. Guess Gramps needs to remember how to set a hook, because I sure didn't drive that hook in. But hey, good sign. He wanted the little trooper. That's probably an 8 or 9 incher. We're going to go ahead and set the hook next time. Check our drag. You know, act like we've been there before. But hey, a bite is a bite. And that's a good sign. He wanted that juicy little Ned. Let's go ahead and back off of the bank a little bit. Good sign. Good sign. Let's see if we can get another one to bite. I got dumbasses on a VA page lecturing me about VA healthcare. Oh, the lead time battery? So far, so good. Sorry, I'm somewhat paying attention. I had to argue with dumbasses in the comments. Talking about VA healthcare. I made a comment on the new hospitals that we're going to get in Indiana and the clinics that they're going to be building. Oh, yeah, but the budget cuts. It's going to increase VA homelessness by 16%. The only veterans that are homeless, and especially in a state where we have a VA domiciliary, are because they don't want to follow the requirements to get clean and get help. So they continue to draw their VA check and, drink and smoke what they want. And most of them are very happy with where they're at and what they're doing. It's the bleeding hearts that think, we're going to make this into a political thing. Shut up. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It drives me insane. My father, my brother, myself, my 3 sons all get our health care through the VA. My wife could too if she wanted to, because she's also a veteran. Most of the dudes are out there doing what they want to do, and they're fine doing what they want to do. And we get that. might have been like a crappie slash bluegill slash. I'll just wrap this line around these coils. All right, let's get it under. There we go. I get it. A lot of people have great hearts. They think they're helping, but they don't know what they're talking about. Or they try to turn something into politics. The VA don't give a shit who the president is. They offer the same help regardless. Some do more. You know, some prioritize different budgets than, you know, different. But it's not a political talking point. Dudes with mental health issues, some want to just drink their drink or smoke their smoke, and they want to be left alone. I understand that. They get their check every month, and then they do what they want to do. But we have VA domiciliaries literally to house. They're spent 9 months in one of them. My youngest son spent 2 months in one. We get it. We understand it. But you can't make people understand because they want to make everything about freaking politics. Anyway, lead time batteries. So far, so good. I have only used Dakota lithium in my kayaks in the past because, you know, I had to have batteries that my brother and I could 100% trust, even though they were the most expensive. Because, you know, you got 2 disabled veterans in kayaks, and we need to know they're going to work. But you pay for that premium because, like Dakota lithium, they're made for being in like sailboats, boats, houseboats, you know, so they have to be able to withstand like the whole fire thing and all that. So they have a whole different set of standards. But lead time, I'm testing them out in my boat because if a battery dies and my trolling motor don't work, it doesn't keep me from getting back to the ramp. I can get on my engine and drive back. But I'm using the meter to put them through the test with my graphs and my trolling motor, and you know, if they meet the demand, you know, is flawless, then I can say, hey, they worked in my boat for a whole year. Now I know people partner up with, you know, different brands and all that just because they give them product, but that's not how I work. I have to test something and I have to use something before I give my, you know, recommendation. It's like I made some videos talking about like the core dice rig and how much I like it, and there's another solution for the prickly pears that I like for the you know, for the urgent style bait stuff. But you know, I tested out and played with the core tackle dice rig and really liked it. Loved the innovation and the way their solution, how they solved the problem. They saw my video, they sent me a pack of more stuff to play with. I appreciate that, and I'll say that up front. You know, before, you know, when I start a video talking about their different rigs. But the fact that I use their, you know, I've used some of their products in the past too, because they do a great job of pouring lead onto hooks in ways that make sense. But they sent me like 6 or 7 different packs of different style of rigs, like a hover rig and a weedless hover rig and stuff like that. And I'll play with those, you know, on flukes and stuff like that. You know, shaking a minnow and all that. But I'll be right up front. Hey, Core Tackle sent me these to check out. I've used some of their other products before. We're very happy with them, and they wanted to send me some more stuff to play with. Good on them. You know, Monster Bass did the same thing. I liked, you know, some of their stuff that was in boxes way back when. I like the fact that they give you a book and teach you know, new people how to fish. Scan a QR code, watch a video, and all right, I got some. What have I got glowing up here in front of me? I don't know that those are fish, but I got about 15 feet out in front of me. It looks like something's down the bottom of my head. It's probably not the thing to throw, but it's what I had in my hand. thought I saw something, but I think I got crept up on it too fast because I wasn't paying attention when it was at like at 30 or 40 feet. But yeah, so far the lead times have been. I mean, this is only my third, fifth, fourth trip out with them. But hey, I put them in and not sure if you're a fan, but listen to a Dolly song today. Like Dolly Parton? Oh, oh no, please don't tell me Dolly Parton passed away. Oh my God, if that's the case, my wife is gonna... Bro. Oh Lord. Let me stop and check my phone. My wife is a huge... There's messages, chats. No. Oh, dude. Yep, she sent a message in the family chat an hour ago. I'm going to use my Starlink to call her on Facebook. Oh, there we go. Baby, I'm sorry.
Hello. What do you do now?
No, somebody posted in the chat, if you're a fan, listen to a Dolly song. And I was like, oh no, no, please no. And then I saw your post. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Any circumstances or just natural?
Well, she's been sick for the past few months, but we don't know.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that, baby.
I mean, she was 80.
I know. I know you were.
Okay, I'm gonna get in my car and cry.
I know you are. Just a quick buzz, tell you I was thinking of you. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure which one you kept, but I assume you got a hold of what's her face.
Well, I can't both. They want the second one to talk to me about, I don't know what I'm probably
Okay.
do for shit. So we will see. So
I got you.
Jared said I can telework on Thursday to do that one.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. I'm out here on the lake in the middle of nowhere. I got no cell signal, but you can call me on Facebook if you need to. Because Gramps Net is all I got right now.
Alright.
Alright, lay you bye.
I'm gonna get out of here.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
That poor thing. My wife is the big... That is her... We go to Dolly World probably once every couple of years at least. But yeah, thanks for the heads up. Yeah, she's... like Loretta Lynn back, I mean, just, yeah. But yeah, Dolly was her two biggest ones that are her favorites, you know, in our lifetime are Dolly and George Strait. My wife is an old rodeo girl from Minnesota, so she used to race barrels, and she was raised on a horse farm. And yeah, George and Dolly were her two main singers. Here I am coming up on a bunch of mats and no frog rod. Because, you know, I thought I was going to be on a river. It wouldn't need to be punching anything. But he didn't. Yeah, I'm still at like 95% on my battery. And that's, you know, it's not like we've been doing a ton today in the current and all that. But I knew with the 24 volt, 100 amp hour battery in this boat, as light as this boat is, because you can run a 36 volt with this Garmin Force Pro, But I was like, you know what, 24, get me all, 80 pounds of thrust, 24 volt, let me fit a 24 volt new 100 amp, because they come up with a new version of it this year. And it's as small as like my 36 volt, 60 amp hour battery from Dakota Lithium. But I'm keeping that one for the kayak, since I have an NK300. But running this Garmin, the lead time has been perfect so far. And I like the Bluetooth stuff. Nobody wants my Ned. All right, where's my jig at? We're gonna buzz over to the other side here in a minute, but just trying to mix it up a skosh. See if we can figure out what they want. I say the jig, but I'm gonna throw this chatterbait for a minute too, just because. I'm gonna work this pretty good, and then cross over, and then work that shade line. I'm just waiting for that doom. Oh, I hit my graph. I gotta be careful. Let's buzz that grass line, and then we're gonna scooch over to the other side and work the shade. Nice looking grass. Oh, keep over top of it. So we got pads on top of grass. Now, if it turns out this other bank is the juice, we'll run it, this halfway down, and then we'll motor all the way to the end and do it again. Which part of me wonders, with the sun and stuff. 8 feet of water out here. Not sure how close to the bank we can get, but it's enough deeper water where we can maybe sit out deeper and cast into the shade. Maybe that's the play. 10 feet out here. You know, I could turn this tray around, put that stuff back here, and that might be a better, I might do that tonight. Alright, we're at 9 feet out here. I actually think I would want to turn this tray around and do that. That looks like, that would be, yeah. I'm going to do that when I get back tonight. Alright, let's make sure we're not whack the graph anymore. Alright, we want to make sure, yeah, we got a lot more shade over here, so I think we're going to have a lot more success. I see a pink boot up on that bank. Not worried about running out of juice. We'll kind of eyeball this as we go, and then just work this bank back now that it's all in the shade. Alright gang, I think I'm going to end the stream here. Even though we caught one pike, it's not been going well. But I kind of want to save the Starlink in case we get into like a bite, you know, around 5, 6, 7 o'clock, and maybe try firing it up again when they start biting. That might be the play. So I'm going to go ahead and end it for now, and then if I can get on to something, we'll fire it back up maybe in a couple hours. But I want to try to save the Starlink as much as possible, and you know, bring it back online after that. But hey, we did catch one pike. But we'll be back. Stay tuned.